It's going to be in the trade.
Because originally they said they weren't. They were just going to have like a trade.
They were going to do that because I think something about the sales being low, so that they're going to include all of it for the like $20.
So that's worth it.
I completely agree with you on the whole editorial standpoint, but I think unfortunately, you do get people like the Grant Morrison and other people whose name is so big, and you put the name on the book they're going to sell. Kind of like what Scorpio said. I don't think you're going to get some editor that no guy's ever heard of being like, hey, Grant, you really can't do this. Because the Grant's like, okay, I'm not doing the book. And then, you've got this gap that, what are you going to do it? And so I definitely see your point. But then you also get characters, like Superman, Spider-Man. How do you expect this guy that probably wants to be a writer himself, he may have had the editor job for 2-3 years, is supposed to know everything that's happened with Batman over 60 years? I mean, I love the character of Batman and read tons of it, but by no means can I pretend that I even know a small percentage of what's happened to the guys.
I had read that Zermanar story because it's in the greatest Batman stories ever told, hardcover. So I in the whole Robin Dies at Dawn, I'd read all that stuff growing up, so I knew the references and everything like that.
I did Wikipedia, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Well, and like you said about the editors, that sometimes the editors, you're right. Sometimes editors should step up, and they should keep everything tighter. Because I do believe that Grant kind of got a little screwed when it came to Final Crisis. Well, Final Crisis is that he turned in the script for #1 Final Crisis before Countdown to Final Crisis. And so Grant said, this is where everyone's at the beginning of my story, make it happen. And at the end of Countdown, it didn't happen. And that's the editor's fault. That's the editor's fault, and them trying to figure out how to do 52 and get in there. And also with the lateness of the book and them just wanting to rush it out. I think you're right, editors are a big part. But with somebody like Jeff Johns, though, like you said, no one's going to tell Jeff Johns not to do Blackest Night. They're not going to tell him, oh, we don't like it that you're going to bring this person back. Jeff Johns basically running DC right now, so he can do basically whatever he wants. But the sales and his quality prove that. So you're right, editors do need to step up, and sometimes they also need to back off too. Sometimes they can, like Joe Q, doing the one more day thing. He said, no, I'm the editor-in-chief, this will happen, and most of us did not like that story. So it's double-edged story.
The one thing bringing it back down to continuity is both Johns and Morrison, so this would be DC, are operating within their continuity. And so they took the many years, and are taking the many years of tools in the toolbox to work with. Now, whether some of us understood it or whether they did a good job about it, that's different. That they're using their tools. The difference with Marvel, which especially with Wonder Woman, it was that he just threw the toolbox out and said the only thing that is the same is the character, Spider-Man, because we all recognize Spider-Man, and that's it. So I like, and I always have, so this has nothing to do with Spider-Man's changes. I like that over the last almost 50 years, DC has followed continuity. Now they keep, they tinker with it, but a lot, it's still there, and there's still toolboxes to pull out. But Marvel, on the other hand, denies, and to a large extent, denies the past.
Well, I think also DC's been around. So as far as Marvel has been around as long, but as a coherent Marvel universe, it's really just in '63. But I think all this stuff, in retrospect, it's going to be looked upon as the birthing of the Marvel multiverse. There's going to be the ultimate universe. I mean, the thing is, Marvel just doesn't necessarily split them. This is this universe. They're just more keep it as one universe. But really, this all just gets down to quantum physics and quantum mechanics and things like that. It's all just how you look at so-called reality. Grant Morrison, he was actually a big influence on me in just weird stuff, You see him talk about magic, it's pretty cool and it's crazy, but it's entertaining. But all just how, it's all artificial kind of, this is Earth S, the Shazam universe, this is Earth 3, the criminal universe. Whereas Marvel, they'll just have those alternate realities within the main universe, but they're still kind of the same thing. They just don't, and then they started calling it like Earth 616. That's a pretty recent thing. And they're probably going to go back retroactively and name all these. The continuity that Spider-Man and Mary Jane are not